I just want to say from the bottom of my heart, I'd like to take this chance to apologize to absolutely nobody. The double champ does what the he wants.
There we go. We're back, baby.
Fucking A.
There we go. Nick just said it. He goes, 2 bros podcast, but we got 4 bros on today.
Yep.
That's good. Four bros and a Frenchie.
Yeah.
Yo, sorry for the delay, guys. I went down to the little like lounge area I normally record in because otherwise she'll be sitting in my lap the whole fucking time. Chill. And long story short, they had like some music playing and the whole thing would have just been copyrighted. So I was like trying to figure out how to shut the music off. I was like, fuck it, I'll just go back to my unit. So here we are.
When it comes to copyright music, dude, the amount of videos that I filmed, edited, sent over to Hostile, and that gets demonetized fucking pisses me off.
Bro, I mean, like, I get it. Even in a gym, sometimes, like, we'll ask, like, hey, turn down the music. We're trying to film something. We don't want copyright. And it's just fucking obnoxious. But, like, literally, I was like, I'm not about to ruin a whole podcast with Justin Bieber playing in the background. So it's good, fellas. How's everybody doing?
Like, I've had stories and stuff taken down just because the music in the gym's playing. And it's like, I'm not stealing or like, I'm like, you know what song this is. I'm not stealing it. It wasn't added to the video. So, like,
oh my God.
Just chill out.
It's
like,
so
I understand kind of like copyright infringement, but if it's playing in the background in the gym, I'm not stealing it. It's just there.
Yeah, exactly. Like your AI that's trying to detect all that stuff should realize that it's background noise. Like, you know,
AI can do a lot of stuff. Like, you can't get that part figured out.
Yeah, right. It's just the copyright shit in general is annoying. So I was like literally trying to figure out on the little tablet on the wall, like turn the fucking shit down. And I couldn't figure it out. So like I saw everyone like, yo, where's the link? I was like, all right, fuck it. We're just going back to my unit. But now we got special guests. We got Alani in the building today. So she'll probably be sitting here the whole podcast until she's got to pee, which hopefully she doesn't pee on me, but it is what it is.
Fuck it, we'll do it live.
What's that?
Fuck it, we'll do it live.
Fuck it, we do it live, baby. How's everybody doing? Everyone good today?
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
man, it's a good day. It's a rest day for me. I've been doing back and forth trips from my old house to this house, just because my lease ends at the end of this month in my old house because I just bought this one, and I was gonna buy that one before, but 3 months ago my landlord's like, and he knew I wanted to buy it. He was like, "Hey man, I got different plans for the property moving forward. I don't want to sell." And I'm like, "Wow, wonderful." So
I have like you're in a club.
Yeah, this is my new setup in my office. I have my posing rooms in here, over here, and I got like legitimate lights that I've mounted from the ceiling. I'm friends with Mitch Gilko, and he gave me a good setup on how to kind of move things around. So it's coming together. But rest days when I just want to chill and only do check-ins and client work end up being client work and then moving stuff. My girlfriend can't help me. She's in Masters of Nursing right now. So she's just sun up to sundown studying. It's fucked.
Dude, moving's the absolute worst shit. The place I'm living in right now, this apartment, my lease ends in 6 weeks and I've been like stressing out trying to find a new place, and I finally like locked in a new lease. But now I'm like, dude, I'm gonna fucking sell everything. I don't even care if I give away like this entertainment center, this dining table, just fuck it. Someone come get it. The only thing I'm going to keep is like my bed, my couch, and my TV, and my dog's like, she's got this giant crate. But other than that, like, dude, fuck moving. I hate that shit. So I feel you, bro. It's a pain in the ass.
Dude, when I was, all my shit that I was moving tonight for my last trip is I probably have like half of all my my ammo at my other house still. So like my entire bed of my truck right now, if I open this window and like showed the camera, is just full of cases of ammo. It's like I still have like half over there. So I'm like, that's the worst part of this entire process is the amount of ammo that I have.
Dude, my safe, I moved up to St. Louis last fall, and my safe is still in Jeff City. I moved everything up here but that, because I had a barnuminium like just by myself. So I moved some of my shit. I did the same as what Scott's saying. I sold like 3/4 of my shit, and I put my safe in my mom's house. And I was like, I gotta go get that eventually. But
yeah, because Chris, you're in St. Louis right now, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then
I used to live like 2 hours like west of here in like a cornfield.
Got it. Have you has St. Louis been, with all the shit going on with like the riots and stuff, has it been chill?
I haven't seen. I just saw on Facebook like like the plan called Boots or whatever, where all the riots are supposed to be or protest, whatever they want to say. But like, granted, I don't really haven't really been gone out that much this week. I'm trying to like stay alive, but I haven't really seen anything.
Dude, you know what's crazy is like I feel like all of us probably live inside of our own little bodybuilding bubble. And like not to sound like I'm ignorant or naive, but I didn't even know about the riots until like maybe a couple days ago. And I like turned on the news, like, what the fuck is this? And then
Yeah.
I start reaching out to like some friends I have who are relative to the like California, LA area. I was like, yo, I just want to make sure you guys are good. And like, yeah, we're cool, we're straight. But like, bro, that shit is crazy to me. Like, I can't even wrap my head around the logical thoughts going through people's head as they're throwing rocks off the freeway at police cars, like lighting cars on fire. And I'm just like, could you imagine if any of our fucking white asses went down to Mexico and started doing that shit? Like, bro,
They would shoot you.
shot
They
so
would not
quick.
deal with that.
Dog.
The cartel or the Mexican government would shoot you. Like they're not gonna fuck around.
Yeah,
100%.
That reminds me. So when who is the last George Floyd?
yeah.
So I'm in St. Louis too, Nick.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah, so I'm in St. Louis too. So when the George Floyd shit was happening, like who was the first one? Mike Brown or something?
Yeah, Mike Brown.
That was
Oh,
still in St. Louis.
That went crazy.
That was East St. Louis, in North County, I think. So
Ferguson.
George
Yeah.
Floyd stuff was popping off a few years ago. My office was like a mile or two down the same road where it's at now, and it's across the street from the Galleria Mall, which is the Galleria Mall that Nelly like raps about. And so when that stuff started going off, there was like buildings on that road within a mile of me that were having their windows shattered and stuff. And so the owner of the place I was at, him and I are friends, and him and the other owner, like we all own guns. And he's like, dude, shit's supposed to be like bad tonight, like it's getting worse and it's already like on our street. He's like, will you stay overnight with guns? Because he knows I have a rifle and stuff. And so we like actually like plotted and we're like, all right, we're gonna stay overnight. Like the owners came up with all their weapons in their vehicles. Like we had Uzis and body armor. I had my rifle and stuff. And like luckily we ended up deciding to not stay the night. We're like, all right, we actually decided to like buy plywood and stuff, but it costs thousands of dollars to put plywood up and board up all the windows of our business. And luckily when we came in the next day, the National Guard was in the Galleria parking lot across the street from us, and the police were stationed in our parking lot. So there was National Guard Humvees and stuff, and then like 12 squad cars in our lot. So everything was totally fine. Like nothing was touched on our building. But we like actually like we rolled up and like we're gonna stay the night and kind of make sure everything was cool. Like
I mean,
so
dude, that's what you gotta do, bro. It's like I mean, I respect the shit out of that, man. It's one of those things where it's ridiculous when there's looting and rioting and like these dumbass people don't realize, like, I don't give a shit whatever these people believe in, whatever, like that, disregard that right now. It's like, yo, this is your community, you know what I'm saying? And it pisses me off so much, like I just went at somebody the other day. I thought I'd stay kind of calm. For me, okay, I probably was calm, but like my face sometimes looks like it's a little pissed off. But it was in the gym, and somebody was like, "This person, I'm friends with them, and I'm still friends with them. Like we can disagree about shit, and I can still be friends with you, you know."
Yeah.
But they were saying like, "Oh, it's such a joke that the National Guard was deployed," and I'm like, "Dude, how the fuck is that a joke?"
Yeah.
Like, dude, there's cops getting their faces bashed in. There's already down thousands of cops in LA and every city around the United States. Like, how is it a joke for having law enforcement get back up with the National Guard?
Yeah, no,
Yeah, like if you've seen some of the videos, like they're destroying cop cars, they're lighting civilian cars on fire. Like it is not under control. There's officers injured now, and then I've seen, probably like at least 4 or 5 squad cars completely demolished. At least, like that's what we've seen too. And it's like, why would we not bring in more law enforcement or the military to protect people and like kind of that's clearly not under control. It's ridiculous. And it's like, again, you're allowed to I'm all for freedom of speech, even if I disagree with you. And like Nick said, like we can disagree and still be okay. Like I have conversations with people online, and as long as they're respectful, I'm cool with it, even if we have different values and beliefs. But to act like there's no reason to like lock this stuff down and like figure it out. Like you can protest, but destroying other people's property and loot, like when you're looting the Nike store in LA, you're not protesting. You're just taking advantage of the situation that you're just stealing shit. That's not protesting. And again, like if you're destroying, like, if my car is parked on the road and you destroy my car because of you don't like how immigration, policies are right now, like, what the fuck did I do to you? You know?
Yeah.
And all that does also, again, regardless of your opinion on which side you're on of whatever issue you're writing about, when you destroy stuff like that and you destroy random people's stuff or innocent people's stuff or just personal property, you are taking the value and legitimacy out of your point, Because if I have an argument with someone and I want to point to prove, if I just punch them in the face, I didn't win the argument. I'm a dickhead now. Like that doesn't mean I was right. I just did something violent or destructive. Like that doesn't mean my point was right or I'm correct.
Yeah.
100%.
Well, like with going back to like the George Floyd stuff, the BLM movement. So I live right here across from one of the main malls in Arizona in Scottsdale. And like I can literally see the Apple store from my patio. And so I remember literally like people breaking down the fucking Apple store, stealing computers, iPhones, all that shit. And I'm like, what does that have to do with anything? You're literally now just committing crimes. And again, like kind of like Nick said, like Justin said, I can support other people's point of views. I can try to understand where they're coming from. But when you start literally damaging property, stealing shit, and for lack of a better words, just committing crimes, like you really don't have any ground to stand on. And then like one of the crazy things I saw too, like you guys know the self-driving vehicles, like the Waymos. So there's not even anyone in there. And I seen like a fleet of these things set on fire in LA. I'm like, bro, what did these cars do to you guys? Like, like you're just destroying property at this point. And like I just can't wrap my head around like this is gonna sound so naive and dumb, but like when I see people doing this shit, it's like Monday at 3 p.m. I'm like, bro, I'm at work. Like, don't you have a fucking job?
Yeah.
What's going on?
Always. I'm like, what are you guys doing standing in the middle of the road protesting on a Monday morning? Like, you guys
They're
not
all online coaches.
probably
They're just all bodybuilding coaches.
Sign up for my program.
No, they're one of two things. They're probably either all online coaches or all illegals because there ain't no 10 million jobs, 20 million jobs for all these illegals.
Yeah.
Well, okay. With being an illegal immigrant, here's what I can't understand. Like, let's just say I went over to the UK and I didn't have the proper visa, so they want to send my ass back to America. Okay, makes sense. Like, I'm not gonna go riot, protest. Like, I didn't do what I was supposed to do and provide the proper documentation to be in your country. So why should I be there? It's the same fucking shit. So like when these people are like, these people belong here, blah, blah, blah. Well, yeah, I mean, if they got here during the like correctly, then yeah, sure, by all means, make a fucking living, live the American dream. But when you're literally like here unlawfully, I think there's nothing left to say.
So simple.
Do any of you guys listen to Andy Frasilla's podcast?
Sometimes, yeah.
Yeah, he dude, I started listening to Andy back when I was like in middle school and back when it was MF CEO project and before it was Real AF. So and this was, dude, I was like in 8th grade. I thought it was just badass, but that dude during 2020 when he rebranded to Real AF, and that's when I was almost expelled from, well, like 2022 I was almost expelled from college because of the COVID stuff. But like 2020 and 2021 is when I started listening to the rebranding, and he's been wrong about like 2 things since then. But that's when it clicked in my head that I was like, everything is meant to divide us. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, I was just about to bring that up.
Yes, like the reason, and that's what made me realize that, like, yo, I started looking at all the shit going around the world. Like, okay, what is the other side trying to sell me?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and then what's this other side trying to sell me? What's true, what's not true, all this stuff. And I was like, okay, I gotta start getting news from independent news outlets and party stuff like that. But like, it made me realize the other day, I was literally, it's so funny. I was playing COD with some of my buddies, and we're online. I got my headset on, and we were just talking about this kind of stuff we're talking about now. And they kept bringing up just like how pissed they were about all this, everything going down. And they're like, why do people act like this? Why do people act like this? Then I thought to myself, I'm like, if we look back just decades, okay. And I'm saying this as if I'm old, but I'm not, it sounds
back in my day.
Yeah, but if we just look back decades and how society has changed over the time, like we have purposely been conformed to act out irrationally and emotionally instead of logically. Mm-hmm. And it's I mean, great examples during the COVID stuff. We were like, family houses were pinned against each other. You believe in this, you believe in that. I'm not going to talk to my parents.
Yeah.
States, communities, all this stuff pinned against each other for what you believe in, all that bullshit. So it's not even surprising to me that all these riots are going on because society doesn't think logical anymore. They always think with their emotions, which is why they always kick themselves in the dick.
Yeah, I think this is a wild stance, but in terms of like the rioting and all this stuff, like even with COVID, it's, and I'm not like either side, but it's, they want, the more a community can be against each other, it's a lot easier to control, right?
Yeah.
That's the National Guard and everything. So, like, personally, like, I'm not the hugest fan of police, you know what I mean? None of that, but it's like,
Who's been
dude,
arrested here? Raise their hand.
Yep. Who's against federally fabricated crimes? Okay. Next story. But yeah, it's an easy way for them to take control, and that's for the right side, the left side. It's literally anything that goes on. If they can take control of you, they will. So it's like, look, if we just do this right, I love protests. Our country was started off of a protest. You know what I mean? And it's just like you just play your cards right, because if you don't, they're gonna bring the National Guard in, then it's martial law, then it's literally like, hey, dude, we're gonna tell you what the fuck to do, and now it's gonna be a communist state. We're so like on that teetering line, and it's so thin. We're just a couple slip ups from losing everything that we have, and that goes for both sides.
I think we
for
got
me,
like a
it's
glimpse of that during COVID because there was
Yeah,
some pretty fascist type things going on. Like,
and how easily they did it.
yeah, and that's what the scary part is, how easy it is
Mhm.
because, like Nick said, everyone reacts emotionally. So it's like, oh, everybody's dying. You don't want your grandma to die. Stay inside or else. And they're like, oh yeah, of course I will. And if anyone who doesn't, you fucking kill grandmas. But
Mhm.
that was a glimpse at like how easily we are controlled and manipulated, and how close we are to like a martial law or a police state, like
They'll
fascist.
shoot your dog.
I just saw a video the other day. I think it was California, because of course Newsom was complaining that the National Guard came in, and it was
Yeah.
a video from COVID where they used the National Guard and they were walking down the street screaming at people to get inside their homes during COVID.
Yep.
And I'm like, oh, so we're allowed to lock people in their homes over a virus, but now it's
Mhm.
not okay when we bring them in to stop people from burning cars and assaulting officers.
well, I'm all for, listen, everyone can have their own point of view. I can try to understand it and respect it, but there's a big difference between peaceful protest and committing crimes. And
Oh,
that's why
100%.
the National Guard's been brought in, because obviously the police force that just the city of Los Angeles has alone can't sustain what the fuck is happening. And rightfully so. I mean, like, these are people who are just trying to make a living like the rest of us, and they're putting their lives on the line because this fucking retard over here thinks it's acceptable to voice their concerns by throwing rocks and like, come on, like, use
Yeah.
logical sense here. Like, you're retarded if you think that's okay.
But you think about it though, because there's been cases that they've done it. Wouldn't you think it'd be easier if, say, the government, Big Brother, whoever it is, like planted some people? This isn't a conspiracy. Like planted some people.
One big psyop.
Right? Yeah. So it's like bring some feds in, make them dress like protesters, or whatever. Like, hey man, beat the shit out of these cops, throw whatever you want. We're all sheep, so they'll all act like that guy's like, oh, if they're doing it, I'll just jump in there too.
And it's not
You know what I mean? Exactly. Yeah. So essentially they could cause all of this. It's the same as I think it was George Floyd, all the bricks and stuff, like moving bricks in. Who's throwing those first? It's like, dude, I bet they
Always
paid
random
somebody.
pallets of bricks around these areas.
Yes.
Like you always see it's like there's random bricks, and it's like, why are there always just pallets, like 2 pallets of bricks in the middle of this street for no
They're
reason?
expensive as shit too. Like somebody paid for the bricks,
Yeah.
moved them there, and then like who's gonna throw the first brick? It's like I think most people you meet walking down the street, if you go down East St. Louis, I bet 90% of those people won't throw a brick at a cop because they know better. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter how much you hate cops, they're just like, no, I'm not gonna throw a fucking brick at a cop. But you take one guy that has an agenda and he's paid to do it, give me 200 grand, yeah, I'll throw a brick at a cop.
Well, dude,
I mean, yes, that's already like been proven. Like, I mean, I think
Yeah.
some of the Antifa members were paid, and then
Yeah.
during the Tesla protests, I saw videos of people asking the Tesla protesters, like, "What are you doing here? Or are you paid?" And they were admitting it on camera that they were paid to be there.
Right.
Yeah.
Some of them didn't even have like any talking points. They just knew if they showed up, they got like $200 or something.
bro,
Exactly.
people are so naive, and it doesn't matter that Trump is in office, that this shit's going on. People would be so naive to discount the fact that the government actually has something to do with the protests right now. Like,
Mhm.
people like, oh no, why would they do that? Like, dude, I'm not saying it's the Trump administration. The government goes so freaking deep that people like we're not taught about how deep this shit goes. And also on top of that, the government does not control as much as we think that they can control. Okay. Big pharma, corporatocracy, big banks,
Oh,
the
100%.
one that pull the strings. Okay. But if we can, the government, you damn right know, like the psychological term, groupthink, like what you were just saying. Oh, nobody here, 99% of the people aren't going to throw a brick, but that 1%, they throw a brick. Okay, then it goes down to, then everybody's going to start throwing bricks.
Yep.
That is, they use that to their advantage when things are emotional, when things are high. And like, dude, things are controlled beyond what we have any comprehension for because we're always taught from growing
Mhm.
up in school. We're taught our worker bee minds that, hey, they're looking out for us. We just have to trust. We have to put blind faith into everything, but that's kind of what's gotten us into the situation right now.
Yeah.
This is kind of off topic, but I heard this kind of like reminded me of something that I heard the other day on one of my podcasts that I was listening to, but like how the government is involved with so many different things. Okay. Do you know the government actually has a budget for Hollywood films?
No,
Damn.
I don't know that.
I didn't
Yeah,
And it's like communists like Korea and stuff making their own movies.
bro, it's crazy because it's the CIA has a budget for foreign and domestic films that can like, oh, this is the narrative that you're trying to just like portray. Oh, you're going too far. You can't include this. You have to include this so that it doesn't make the United States look as bad or all this stuff. You know what I'm saying? Because how do we
Mhm.
know everything's is historically accurate by the books? You know what I'm saying?
It's for sure not.
Right.
Like
No.
we know history is written by the winners.
Yes.
And like so whoever we won World War II. So of course we're the good guys and Germany is
Yeah.
nothing but Nazis. And it's like,
How much bad shit do we do?
yeah, I was gonna say we did some like we bombed cities, like we bombed entire cities and civilians. Like I'm not saying we're like I'm not saying like Germany or Nazis didn't do some bad things, but we're not innocent either. Like it was war, and I do understand like there is collateral damage, but certain cities were just bombed, like, and that wasn't military people; those were just people. Like,
Yeah.
we're
You're about
not
to get
the
canceled
knight
so
in
bad.
shining armor that like we portray ourselves as.
I was waiting
understand
for
like
the
that happens, but like again, we're not without sin or guilt in our country, in our wars, and stuff like
Yeah. I was waiting for the I'm not saying Hitler was the worst guy.
I
Bro,
actually that
don't
reminds
even.
me. Scott was posting about Kenny
Oh
Kale.
my
Oh
God.
yeah.
Okay,
Some
hold on. We'll get into that while we're talking about gun violence and all that shit. So I've been having, again, we always talk about these fucking internet trolls and these keyboard warriors, but this one little fucking twat crossed the line a little bit the other day. So I'll dive into this real quick. And I've been blasting this kid, and so much so that everyone's now attacked him, where he deleted his Instagram. But oh, it gets better, and we're not done just yet. So, anyways, Kenny posted something the other day. And Kenny's my old roommate, Nick, if you weren't aware of that. I used to
Oh,
live out
nice.
in Vegas. So, like everyone, of course, Kenny does post controversial content. So I get why there's some backlash there sometimes. But he posted a video that was like, "This is my brain on ADHD." And so I literally like made a harmless comment, but yeah, like how do astronauts brush their teeth in outer space? And this little fucking 120-pound twat out of Chicago, Illinois, posts basically that he's going to come to the house, dox the address, and shoot us up. And I said, oh, okay, interesting. So within 5 minutes, I had all the information I needed to know about this kid because it's not hard to find anybody on the internet. And it just so happens that this guy's a commercial real estate broker. Well, one, it's illegal to make death threats in writing. Two, you're dumb enough to do it in a public space. Three, as a broker, you have a code of ethics you have to uphold, and making death threats in writing is certainly a violation of that. So, got in touch with his brokerage. We'll see if he still has a job by the end of the week. But again, it's so funny how everyone wants to sit here and be a fucking tough guy. Bro, you wouldn't, one, say the shit to my face. Two, I'd knock you the fuck out in real life. And three, pull up to the house, see what the fuck happens. Because here's the thing, I used to live at that house. So you're telling me you're going to come to my old house and shoot up me and my roommate? Cool. Let's see what happens. But bro, so the best is, I think the last post I made was, hold on, let me pull this up. I actually found his mom's page on Facebook.
I saw this.
I reached out to his mom and I was like, hey, just wanted to make you aware of some shit your son's posting on the internet. I would hope that you raised him better. But then the best was on her page, I found this picture of his bitch ass passed out in the back seat. And I was like, per my last post, mama did raise a little bitch.
Oh shit.
You
But
should have asked her on a date.
dude, he's
I was
getting
gonna say, yeah, you should have asked her on a date afterwards. So
Dude,
I was
He'll bang his mom.
well, so now that he's deleted his Instagram because obviously he's such a tough guy, he couldn't handle all the backlash. He's now getting backlash professionally. He's getting backlash on social media. But guess what? We're not done yet, fellas. I got his LinkedIn. I got his Facebook. We're going to literally just continue to destroy this kid because here's the thing. Again, Justin and I love the keyboard warriors. You can tell me I got small arms. You can tell me I have a tiny dick. I don't care about any of that shit. I'll laugh about it. But the moment you say you're going to come kill me, all right, let's run it.
Yep. 100%.
Yeah.
So
Dude,
yeah,
100%.
that's why on that one I took the stance I did, and I've been going. This has been going on for about 2 or 3 days now that I've just been ruining this kid's life. But he did it himself. And if you have the balls to make a death threat in writing in a public space, I think there should be consequences for your actions. So, what's his name? Nick Schlanger, suck a dick.
Yeah. Fuck you, Nick.
Fuck Nick.
I've been watching your stories and just cracking up.
But you know what it comes from? And I know where it comes from. Bro wanted his 15 minutes of fame. So he thought he was going to get all these likes, all this positive feedback in the comments section. But guess what happens when it backfires? And now your stupid behavior online translates into your real world. Because the managing broker, as soon as they saw my email talking about why is one of your employees making death threats, that's not very ethical. They're like, oh shit, we got to handle this real quick. But dude, I got people all over their business page on their fucking comments just talking like, wait, isn't this the dude writing death threats online? Like,
dang, bro.
so listen, again, I think sometimes people don't realize there are consequences for your actions. And again, like you can talk all the shit you want to me in the world, but the moment you tell me you're going to end my life, okay, let's see. Prove
100%.
it.
Dude,
yeah, and that's the thing. Those people they would never say anything to anyone's face. Cause like people like us, the four of us, I know we could back some stuff up. I never threaten violence online. And there's a couple of reasons. Like one is
Look at this little bitch.
that guy making death threats.
Look at this little bitch.
Bro, okay, hold on, pause. Is it bad that
Language.
through this entire time, is it bad of me that the way you were describing him, that's the complete opposite of what I would have thought?
Blue hair?
Like, no, visually, I just thought I was like some hood rat kid that gets dressed up for his brokerage job but lives in the fucking like Section 8 housing. That's what I thought.
This
Look
is
how
a nerdy
Mama's little
little
boy
boy.
is. Look at how cute he is passed out in the backseat, all tuckered out from a long day of trolling. Dude, it's so funny because I've had so many people message me and be like, dude, we tried talking shit to him. We can't even find him on Instagram anymore. I was like, damn. I was like, all right, step one. But you know what? Again, here's the thing. It's not like I'm a tough guy. It's not like I'm trying to hide behind a screen at all. Like, again, I'm not very hard to find. I almost tag where I'm at every single day. So you want to come find me? You want to throw down? Cool, let's throw hands. I'll box this kid. I'll fight this kid bare hand. I don't give a fuck. But at the end of the day, you said, I'm going to dox your home address and I'm going to shoot you. Some pretty strong words.
Yep. That's that. I think that's something that you can't. Threats should always be handled like the crime is about to be committed. You know what I'm saying? Like it's
I just think that a lot of people are so quick to act tough online, but if that dude saw me in real life, he wouldn't even acknowledge me because he'd be like, oh shit, that's the guy I'm talking shit to. I'm just going to tuck my head and walk the other way. But here's the thing is, whether he returns to social media, whether he has to disable his Facebook or his LinkedIn, which those are the next two platforms we're going to annihilate him on. But the bottom line is this, is you want to be a tough guy. You want your 15 minutes of fame. Well, here you go, buddy. We're talking about you right now.
Yep, 100%. Now we're getting you famous, bud.
Yeah, and that's clearly like it's one thing. Like I have people talk shit, and like most of the time I laugh because like there's nothing a stranger online can say to me that's actually gonna hurt my feelings. Like you can't say anything about my body that's gonna hurt my feelings. You don't know anything about me personally enough to say something that might affect me. So I just kind of laugh. But when he says I have your address and threatens has a death threat, like that's not like you can tell me you'll whoop my ass, like all right, whatever, you won't, but sure. You know, but you can't threaten someone's life while acknowledging that you know their address. Like,
let's kind of tie this into just like bodybuilding and social media, dude. It just like internet trolls and people that are trying to get their 15 minutes of fame about the training stuff. Okay.
Oh my God.
Bro, I am.
Oh my God. It's nauseating right now. We live I mean, I think all of us are like genuinely for real gym bros, where it's like, I sometimes say, I feel like I was born in the wrong era, where it's like, dude, fuck all this camera shit, fuck all this content shit. Just give me my fucking music and the weights and I'm good to go. I don't need to dance and make stupid ass TikToks and give dumbass unsolicited advice. I'm just here to work out and make gains. That's it.
I just think it's so stupid that we're still like, I think people don't realize, I genuinely think people don't realize that the training debate stuff or whatever, the optimal stuff, what science, if we call it science-based community, we can't even call it science-based really when it's just like, oh, let me break down an anatomy book and tell you the best angle of the fucking lat, like
Fuck
whatever.
off.
It's not like, how far are we really going to go with science? But it's one of those things where it's got into a level people don't even care if they're right or wrong anymore. They just want the views. Okay. They just want the divisiveness. They know
Rage bait.
exactly. It's so annoying. It's like, why don't, how, as a fitness community, as a bodybuilding community, how have we not gotten from to the point of like 2 years ago, this conversation would have been dull, like dumbed down so much. Okay.
Yeah.
But it's gotten to the point where we've kind of regressed in our ability to find common ground with anything. You know what I'm saying? Like now, I mean, dude, I've gotten videos like green screen videos made of me training and bullshit. I every single time I see one, I get tagged in one, or one of my followers sees it and I'm tagged in one. I go in there, I comment, and I'm like, "Yo, great video! Thanks for shouting me out. I hope I support your algorithm or some shit."
Yeah.
I'm always killing them with kindness, but I think to myself, I'm like, the rage bait, the of something so dumb as training differences really thinks me that we're going back to like Neanderthal days, dude.
I got, while we're on the topic of rage bait, and I'm gonna fire some shots right here. This posing coach, Daniel Coffeen or Kofine, however you say it. Listen,
Fucking weird.
this dude needs to stay in his fucking lane. He posted some shit last week that really fucking rubbed me the wrong way because it has nothing to do with posing, nothing to do with bodybuilding. So here's something I will never align with. I am all for helping people who are less fortunate than you. So this dude fucking posts a dumbass fucking Instagram video. Today we're gonna go smoke weed and feed the homeless. What the fuck?
Oh, I saw that. I saw that.
Dude,
Okay.
it's the same dude
So
that. Oh, go ahead.
no, I was just gonna say, like, here's the thing. I have fed homeless people countless times in my life, so many that I couldn't even count. But never once have I stuck a fucking camera in their face and been like, "Hey, bro, what's good? You think this homeless dude who's at his all-time low wants to be on my fucking Instagram reel, publicized to the world?" But not to mention, you couldn't just do the good deed. This motherfucker is so cringe that he wants to just rage bait us all. Like, clearly, I'm pissed. This motherfucker puts M&Ms on a cheese pizza, dude. Who the fuck is eating cheese pizza with M&Ms on it? These homeless people are literally dying for food, and you're out here basically like, here's a cheese pizza with some M&Ms. Let's smoke a joint. Ha ha ha. Dude, fuck off, Daniel. Like, seriously, bro. Stay in your lane. Go back to posing. And to be honest, I'm gonna say some shit. I watched a video of him posing with someone the other day, and they're far better at posing than he is. So who's the coach here?
Yeah, he's the same guy. So one, his quarter turns are fucking weird. I think if you put your feet like this when you do a quarter turn, it's weird. Just keep them fucking straight. Anyways, he posted, it was like a year or so ago. I unfollowed him afterwards, but it was this like huge, like supposed to be motivational something. It was weird. It was essentially like he's like, yeah, I was like losing control of my life, and I picked like my daughter or bodybuilding, and it was like he's an amateur bodybuilder. You know what I mean? And there's tons like Eric Janicki is an amateur. He's pro now, but like made his career off it. Whatever. Daniels is not made a career, and he was like, yeah, I chose my daughter. Essentially, the basis was like I chose my bodybuilding career over my daughter. I was like, dude, what the fuck are you doing? Like, I'm sorry, but like it comes a point, and it's about the whole basis was like manhood, this being spirit. I'm like, dude, you just like publicly said like you picked some like really shitty selfish sport over your kid. You know what I mean?
You want to know why that is though? Is because so I've had business mentors in the past. I had one very, very good business mentor that I ended up coaching for bodybuilding. His name's Brian Mark. He taught me a ton.
I've seen Brian around. Yeah.
Brian's a stand-up guy. I mean, I doubt he's watching this, but like anybody listening, if you're a coach, a fitness coach, not bodybuilding coach, he's definitely gonna teach you a lot about business that if you want to go from 0 to 5K per month, 100% and onward. But how he mentors people and certain people. I never did it this way because I'm not the one to. I want to connect with my audience, and I've done a very good job of doing that in a very genuine ways. But I'm never one to connect with them in a way to share my hardships that I've gone through. Okay, we've all gone through shit, but I
Right.
know that there's so many different mentors out there that say, "Hey, sometimes, if it's once every other week, once a month, once a week, whatever, share your story, put something emotional up there, blah, 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 this and that, because it gets fucking clicks. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? And it's annoying as shit because it's a marketing technique and it gets people, wow, my cat is vocal as shit. What's up? Um, it's a marketing technique and literally just because people are like, oh man, I'm kind of in like a similar position. If he did it, I can do it too. I'm gonna go hire this
True.
person.
Yeah, they're pulling on the emotional
Yeah,
connection, the emotional
yeah,
strings. Where you're like, okay, I can relate to this guy.
yeah.
Let's work.
Like, dude, how many? I see it all the time, especially during like the month of June, Men's Mental Health Month. I think Men's Mental Health Month needs to. I think men need to take it more serious in how they. Not, I don't want to say bring awareness to it, but how they approach talking about it online.
Yeah.
Not saying, "Oh, woe is me," dude. We've all had our issues. Okay, probably all my friends have at one point somewhere or another along their before I was even friends with them wanted to kill themselves or was at their lowest point, whatever. Okay. But it gets to a point where we're using something as serious as our mental health, just as society in general, for a quick buck, or something as serious as us being at a very low point in our life. And it's like, oh, it's either this or it's this. And I chose this. And now look at me fucking buying a home, driving a Bugatti. Well, not he's not driving a Bugatti, but like
Yeah.
it's literally the first car that came to my mind, but like it's so annoying thinking like why can't we just keep that stuff to ourselves and help the people in our community directly instead of putting it online almost as if we're trying to let people know virtue signal to them, hey, I'm
Yeah.
like you. I'm just like you. I just got more money. I own a business. You can do what I do too. It's a turn off for me, bro.
Well, I mean, like Daniel's the same fucking guy who's over here eating a Ninja Creamy off a wooden cutting board, and that I'm not even making that up. Which again, who the fuck eats ice cream off a wooden cutting board? Like that's just not even sensible. But like the rage bait and the virtue signaling, like you just said, like I'll give you another example. I'm not going to call this dude out by name, but this dude's over here. Praise God, God is good, bro. You just cheated on the girl you were dating and lied to her about it. You can you can pretend to be this holy religious person all you want, and everyone's eating it up and be like, oh, he's a man of God. Bro, you ain't fooling nobody because the people that know you're a piece of shit. Like, who are you trying to pretend that you're a godly person for? Because we're not buying it because we actually know what you do in real life.
God's not buying it.
Online and they act like that, like a way like that, and you know them in real life, and you're like, you are not like that at all. Like,
No.
Hiding
always
hiding
makes me-
behind faith and religion when you're just truly a shitty person, that's like the lowest of low for me because again, like I'm not very religious, but at the same time, I would never do that. Like I'll just own my shit. If I make mistakes because I'm human, I own that shit. I'm not going to sit here and pretend I'm the most wholesome, godly person when I'm not, like that's pathetic.
Well, dude, it's because people are so focused on the validation of social media, like the amount, just knowing who I know in the sport and what they've told me, or just being friends with I mean, you guys could probably think of who I'm talking about and
Yep.
stuff. Knowing who I know and hearing different things, ins and outs, conversations behind closed doors, it makes me kind of like dislike it, not kind of, it does make me dislike the individuals that I looked up to when I was coming up. Okay. And like I know I've seen receipts of some of these people, and some of these people are world famous of them not being what they're portraying online. And it's
Oh, of course.
really fucking sad. And I feel like well, that's they portray something different online because they've attached their online personality to their career instead of attaching their own human characteristics, their own personality to their career. That's why there's a difference of how they act online versus how I see them in person.
Yeah, I think that everyone's so eager to be an online celebrity and have this social media clout and fame that it's like, dude, are you chasing goals? Or are you chasing clout? And like, if you take some of the top bodybuilders in the world, they never did this to go to the gym every day, film every single thing. It got to the point where they were so successful in their career that people wanted to see that shit. Like I'm going to go with a very extreme example, but like you have some people who are so self-absorbed, they'll set up a camera and be like, all right, guys, today I'm going to show you how I trim my toenails. You think I give a fuck how you trim your toenails? But they're so self-absorbed that they think people want to watch this type of content. It's like, dude, fuck out of here.
Oh, dude, yeah, I know.
It's wild.
Just post like whatever. I got some weird shit that get I post, but it's like, dude, if I'm like riding in like Birkenstocks or like I'm losing my mind, I'm just like, hey, losing my mind, guys, what's up? And everyone starts liking it. I'm like, what the fuck? Okay, whatever. Sounds
Well,
cool.
I think even like this is the first time Nick and I even spoke, but we've talked about you on the podcast before. I was like, you can tell some people really are who they portray on social media. And that's where like I think the two biggest things people always tell me when they meet me in real life is one, you're shorter than I thought you would be, but I guess that's fair because I never post like photos in relation to anybody else. So like maybe if I'm staying next to a car, they're like, wait a minute, he ain't that tall. But two, they say, damn, you really are the person you post just like you are on social media. And it's like, could you imagine how exhausting it would be to like have this facade of who you really are? And then like, imagine like, for lack of better words, you're playing Santa Claus, it's Christmas time. And at the end of your 8-hour shift, you go home and you're like, oh, fuck those kids. Like, you know what I mean? But if you had to keep up that charade the whole time, yeah, it's a charade. So it's exhausting. That's not who you really are from your personality. So
And
I don't know.
eventually you'll
Like,
get exposed. Like eventually, like Nick, you said, like it gets exposed. Eventually you can't hide behind that facade or that character or, persona forever because people are going to realize it and notice like you're not how you act online. Like you said, you post a Bible quote and, whatever picture with your kid, but you just cheated on that kid's mother, last week and lied to her about it. Like you can't hide that stuff forever and it gets around and people, will talk about it when they find out the type of person you are.
100%.
yeah, the hiding behind God thing that rubs me the wrong way because obviously, again, like a lot of people are just pretending to be someone they're not. Like, well, God's got my back, motherfucker. Karma's coming for you.
It's a very
Yeah.
easy facade to use to cover things up because of a lot of people have posted stuff like that. So it's any influencer you see that like they get exposed or they go downhill, whatever the case. Like Alex Eubanks, he was like gambling all this shit, and all of a sudden he's like, "Hey, like I like God," and it's like, okay, it's really easy to say this, and like you're gonna get some clout. Everyone's like, "Yeah, you saved, you got saved, whatever," and he might have, I don't know him at all, but everyone and their brother has done that before. So it's an easy thing to like see, okay, this has worked. This is what they did. I'll just tweak it and post it myself. It's what everyone's done it for since social media's been around.
You guys keep talking. My dog just shit inside.
That's hilarious. Damn. But yo,
All that up.
yeah, right. Justin, last time I saw you was at the Olympia, right? When we trained?
Yeah, Vegas. What was that? Torture gym.
Yeah. Dude, how's your off season going?
It's been good. I mean, like little aches and pains here and there, but like nothing bad. I mean, I'm feeling pretty good. I'm only 230. Granted, I'm like you saw me, I'm 5'7", I'm not tall. But like 230 and like pretty lean. So I mean, I just gotta grow some more. So I've been pushing it. We just bumped the food up a bit. So I have a little bit longer on this push now. So, but I'm feeling good and the appetite's great. Training's been good, feeling strong. What about you?
Oh, dude, things have been good. They're starting to. They actually just started to come back into a good range. But so like I held when I saw you in Vegas when we trained. I was like 260. Still just in my post show cruise phase there. But then we got up to 293, held 293, and then held 293 even into my cruise, which ended up being 14 weeks long, like unintentionally being 14 weeks long. It was, I mean, I got bloods done at like 12 weeks. I was supposed to get them done at 8 weeks, but I was traveling to Mexico with Hostile at shows I was traveling for. But dude, I was in Mexico and I was 285. I get back from Mexico and I was dude, we left Mexico a day early just because we were so tired. We needed to come back to the States. And I chose not to even go to Pittsburgh because I was supposed to fly with Fuad and Samson from Mexico to Pittsburgh. And I was like, Fuad, I just bought a house, dude. I got to get this stuff going with my house. I just needed to like just prioritize stuff. She's like, yeah, no worries. Dude, my entire trip back, I was sick. Okay. Puking on the plane, everything. Get back to the States, super sick, could eat like a half a meal, maybe one meal a day. I bought a shit ton of ivermectin in Mexico. So I took some ivermectin. And within like 4 or 5 days, it cleared up. So I was like, damn, I probably had some type of parasite. Okay. And I've taken ivermectin in the past, dude, and like, dude, it's a therapeutic for COVID. Okay. Like I was hypothetically under the table selling that shit in college. I swear to God. I swear to God, dude.
Hypothetically, of course.
Yeah,
Hypothetically.
hypothetically. But dude, in that time, in like I think it was 9 days, I went from 285 to 269.
Sheesh.
Yeah, bro, it was tough. I didn't even want to pin my TRT. I was like, dude, what's the point? Like, it was so bad.
And that like, you know, that's such a shitty feeling because there's like nothing you can do.
Mhm.
It'll come back, but like it's so like I was sick. I think it was like 2 years ago, and I got really sick. And like on like day 7 or 8, I weighed myself, and I like knew it was a bad idea because I wasn't gonna like the number, and I was the same way. Like I
Wait.
couldn't eat. I was having like a muffin and like 2 protein shakes a day just to get something, and like I was down like 13 or 14 pounds in like 7 days. And I was like, why did I get on the scale? I knew I wasn't gonna like what I saw. Like, but there's nothing you can do when you're sick like that. It's just
That's what
you
it
get
is.
back to it once you're better, but
I'll be honest, I typically only get sick like once a year, knock on wood. And when I do though, I fucking die for like 7 to 10 days straight. And then the rest of the year, obviously, like I'm very active. I take care of myself. I'm taking vitamins every day. So it's one of those things where like I'm like, oh, okay, like I'll just accept it for what it is. But like Justin said, like you already know when you haven't had an appetite, you're probably not drinking many fluids, like you're just like fuck. And then you step on the scale and you just see, for lack of better words, victim weight. You're like, fuck.
Victim weight.
I think it's best just to not get on the scale when you're sick. Like you got to wait a couple weeks after you're recovered. Otherwise, like you're setting yourself up for disappointment.
Speaking, dude, fucking Chris Kessel, bro. How are you
I was
feeling?
just gonna say, speaking of being sick,
Hey guys.
how's patient zero over here?
Today's actually a good day. I'm kind of like getting back into it. I was gonna post something, but I deleted it because I don't want like the woe is me card. But um real
But I
point.
didn't take it that way as all at all. That was just you being transparent about a preference.
No, I posted like, all right, I typed up like in my notes on Monday. Monday was probably my worst day so far, but um dude, it's been like mentally, I won't lie, like it's pretty fucked. But physically, like my P's kind of clearing up now. My heart is like sort of getting back. I think my resting's like 86 now, which is a new low. That's a PR. Um, yeah, it was 190. The thyroid is gonna take some time. I got blood on Monday, but just navigate. I'm happy to be here, but I'm just navigating all of it.
Yeah, when I saw your post originally on Instagram, that was Sunday of this past week, and I was in the gym training, and I literally like I was like, "Oh, prep update, what's this?" And I literally stopped my set, and I'm watching the thing. I'm like, my jaw. I was like, "The fuck!" And like, obviously, again, like rhabdo's no joke, but like people don't realize like you can die from that shit. And
But
so
it wasn't
obviously,
the
thank God you caught it when you did.
Yeah, the rhabdo part wasn't the worst. So like I was like completely delirious. Like I was hiding this from Katie. I was hiding it from my coach. Like just like playing like the I'm 2 weeks out. Like this is what it was. Like I've never been this peeled in my life. I think I put a picture of my story of my glutes. So I'm like totally inside out. Like none of my shoes were fitting. I was peeled. And the whole time like my heart was racing every day. Like my resting at the house was like 119, 126, like in that range. I'm like, oh, I'm 2 weeks out. Like shit's just weird. I was pissing like Coke for like 3 days, but I was like, oh, it's fine. Like I'm 2 weeks out.
You felt like shit, but you were kind of justifying it as you're like, this
Oh,
is
I
it
felt
is
like,
2 weeks out, yeah.
yeah, I almost like passed out mowing my lawn. That got a little crazy. And then my thyroid was like off the rails where I'd sit in my house, like my house would keep it at 66. And I'm like sitting here sweating, like, but it's the same, like I'm 2 weeks out, I'm fine, I'm pushing, whatever. And yeah, things got downhill fast, and that's when the AFib came out, and then I was like almost in a thyroid storm, but thankfully it was just like severe thyroid toxicosis, which I'm like super, super thankful about. So like the rhabdo in our eyes is like this lowest priority right now. You know what I mean? Like the heart, the thyroid, um, is our number one concern. But yeah, I'm happy to be here. I can't train, which sucks. I can do a lot of walking. I've been walking a ton. I've been walking, but I'm just, I'm thankful to be here. Really,
Dude, it's
that's it.
wild. Was it just a stress thing that came upon you with work and too? Like
I
work
don't know.
stress, because obviously like labor intensive job, maybe lack of
That's the
sleep.
thing. Like, I normally pull out from the plants like 6 weeks out, I save my money and I just chill because I've been thankful that I brought my online coaching up pretty high now to where, theoretically in the next couple months, like this is gonna be my full-time job. So stress like that way was really low. I think from I've been prepping since pretty much last summer, and then I did the winter, and then I took like 8 weeks off total, but kept dieting, like kept holding things, prepping again. So I think that was the kind of the cause of the rhabdo. The AFib, dude, I really just that came out of nowhere. I think the thyroid toxicosis was like we got labs 4 weeks ago. Super transparent. Like T3, I take 12.5 micrograms. T4 is at 100 micrograms. Got labs 4 weeks ago. Like perfect. Everything's perfect. The only thing I can like pinpoint is I get uh liquid T3 and T4, and I think I might have gotten like some super overdose bottle because I could taste the difference. But I was like, and I could tell like, dude, I'd sit somewhere like I was getting my haircut, and I'm like sweating in the barber's chair, like random shit. You know what I mean? I think it might have been from that bottle. Um, but I caused some of it, like the rhabdo. I made it worse when we thought I was getting sick was rhabdo. So we pulled training. Well, instead, I was like, I need to do shit. Like I got to do stuff. So I did more cardio. I was doing more steps. Wednesday, I was still spiked my weight, and I was like, okay, I did cardio. I took a bath, like a hot ass bath, like dump water, and it turned into me like I was laying on my bed, like 160 heart rate, like pouring everything out of my body, laying there. I'm like, holy fuck. Left the house, went to Katie's gym, did like 20 minutes on the stairs. I'm like, I'm here, I'm doing it, whatever. I just dug myself, and dude, I wasn't communicating with my coach, like not communicating with my own girlfriend. You know what I mean? Like just being an idiot is what that was.
Well, you know what though? I think obviously kind of at that point too, like you're chasing a pro card
Yeah.
and you're just kind of like telling yourself like, hey, like right now it's gonna suck. I got to do what I got to do to get there. But at a certain point, like obviously you did do the right thing. You got the help you needed. I'm very happy to see that you're healthy
It
and
wasn't even
uh,
me. That
huh?
it wasn't me who even like
What?
told Katie. My good friend Luke, I was calling him asking about his symptoms. He's had rhabdo like 3 or 4 times. The dude's done, he went from like a prep a week later, did like Missouri's Strongest Man. Like the dude's a freak. So he's gotten rhabdo a few times. I called him when I was pissing blood, and it was like it looked like wine. And I was like, hey man, when you had rhabdo, like did it look like did you feel like this? And he was like, yeah. And he's like my dad, the dude who raised me. And he asked me a couple questions. He's like, did you train today? I was like, well, Greg let me get a light pump. He's like, how was it? And I was like, oh, it was off the wall. So I did 3 sets on arms, and I thought they were gonna pop. And he like immediately was texting Katie at work, like, go home, take her to the hospital, like you gotta do it. She comes home, and I was like, eyes wide, I'm like, hey. And she's like, get your shit, we're going. I was like, oh fuck. So
Um,
shout out to Luke, but like I was even that hard headed and just like in my own head, just so ignorant about it that like my good friend had to call my own girlfriend, and be like, hey, like you gotta pull this kid out.
You know what though? That's a sign of a good friend, and also obviously
Yeah,
Katie's been there by your side. Obviously, I saw your coach made a post which was very transparent as well. So props
yeah,
to him for being open about, hey, like this is what happened. These things can happen. This is one out of 1,000 clients I've worked with. So again, I mean, like it's a very shitty situation, especially when I say there's no good time for that to happen. Well, especially a couple weeks out from the pro
2 weeks
qualifier.
out.
But yeah, but at the end of the day, like the stage isn't going anywhere. You're
Yeah.
only going to improve and get better. You'll be back. And I know the next time when you're able to do this with full health, like, yeah, it's definitely going to be a different game for you.
We're shooting for next summer. I mean, I'm 23. No, I'm 24. So we're gonna grow again. I'm already like 6 pounds over cap. So I think we think we can grow a little bit more, put more on my arms, my legs, and then dude, we're gonna chill. We'll come into next season super, super fresh. I know I can't hit multiple shows, like a couple qualifiers and stuff, because just using diuretics and going under that weight cap is just gonna be really detrimental. So detrimental, whatever the word is. So we're gonna really be like methodical next year and just like really fast. Just hey, bam, bam, done, get out.
that makes sense. That was gonna be my plan last year. Then ended up doing 4 shows in 8 fucking weeks. But that's why one of the reasons why I decided not to do men's physique anymore or even to do classic was because it's like it was a pain for us to even downsize my legs on prep. My legs did not want to fucking get smaller. Um, it was like my leg days in prep were like, all right, we're gonna do 4 sets total of
Fuck.
like leaving 3 to 4 reps in the tank. It's
Mhm.
But it was one of those things where during prep, I was like, dude, once I go pro in men's physique, I've realized like I've got the body type where it's gonna be more unhealthy for me to get down to a weight cap and
Mhm.
rather than pushing gear. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
that's where it's gonna start to become really unhealthy for me. And it's like, okay, let's just see how my post show goes. If I put on weight really quickly and I'm staying really lean and I'm just on TRT, then okay, we made the right decision to not compete in a division where there's a weight cap. So I mean that I tell guys this all the time, man. I have a few guys that I pulled out of classic and they're doing bodybuilding now that are to be competing next year. And I'm like, dude, you're 230 pounds and your weight cap is 190 or whatever.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
you still have fucking lines in your glutes. Do you really think that that's going to be healthy for you long term doing that?
That's where we're at. I mean, my like off season weight this year is 220, weight cap's 187. If I can grow a half inch, it's 194, which would be badass. But Katie and I have talked about it like 2 days ago. She's like, what if you just keep growing? Like, I was like, well, we just be light heavy. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not opposed to that. I fell in love with in this sport because of bodybuilding, so I'm not opposed to it at all. I just classic fits my waist, whatever what you want to call it. But yeah, I'm like 206 right now with peeled glutes, so whatever. We just started GH, so get healthy.
I'm only laughing because you're 206, bro. I am like the fucking most disgusting 204 right now in my off season.
Okay, I say this, man. I've
I'm
had
like fat as shit.
my very first off plan meal was this BBL nurse. I'm like having these like lucid dreams about this like freaky because she woke me up. They don't let you sleep, right? So I'm
Wait,
like,
Wait,
in
hold
a,
on,
what
pause.
just happened? What,
Yeah,
I'll
wait,
explain
wait,
this.
wait,
I'll
wait,
explain
wait,
it. Hold on,
wait.
hold
What
on.
just happened? Yeah, I heard
nurse?
BBL nurse.
I was like, I didn't sleep for like 24 hours at this point. Like I'm like in AFib, laying in this hospital bed, like sweating. Katie just went home for the night, and I'm like laying there it's like 5 in the morning, and I just this nurse walks in, BBL, fake lips, fake everything with like peanut butter. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Like, I was like, where
Is
am I? Like, what are we
this a
doing?
dream?
She's like, hey, I got you some food, and I'm like, peanut butter is like my number one. Can't eat that. Like, I will binge. I'll go downhill. Like. Everyone knows like Chris cannot have peanut butter, and I'm just like, oh, holy shit, like cool,
He
I got
said
peanut
BBL
butter.
nurse.
And so ever since then, like I'm food's dialed back in now, but like the hospital doesn't have chicken rice. You know what I mean? I was eating like chicken tenders or they had like yogurt cups and cookies and whatever. So like for like a good 3 or 4 days, it was just like shit. I'm not proud of
I
it,
would
but
ask her if she came with the peanut butter part of the meal.
I would say yes, but like I'm pretty thankful. I think I'm dating the hottest woman on earth. So she can
Hey,
definitely
yeah,
hear
there we
me.
go.
But
This is a man of
no, it was
God
just
right
a
here. He would never cheat.
dude, it was just the weirdest sight. Like I'm like on the verge of death at this point. Like kidneys are failing. I just wake up and I'm like, what when you wake up and you're just sweating, like every night you're just soaked. I wake up soaked in this hospital bed. The hospital's at like 80 fucking degrees. And she walks in, she's like, yeah, I got you some peanut butter. Like, I've had rhabdo from doing pull-ups. I'm like, what the fuck is going like I don't know where I'm at. Like I have memory loss. I'm like, I don't know what the fuck is going on. Like, who are you? I don't know what state I'm in. Like, I don't know what city. I'm like,
Wow.
okay, give me the fucking Jiffy cups. Like, hell yeah, lady. This is cool.
And
Dude,
take your clothes off too.
yeah. Hey, wait, I'll tell you something funny, and you guys will probably all relate to this because obviously we're all bodybuilders here. But so the other day, like kind of like Chris was talking about those little like Jiffy cups.
Yeah.
So it's funny, I saw one for the first time, and like I usually just stick to my plan. So there's like some aisles in the grocery store I don't even go up and down because I'm not gonna waste my
Mhm.
fucking time. But I guess they now have like chocolate mixed in with the peanut butter in Jiffy cups.
Yes.
Was new to me. And but here's the thing is so like in the individual like serving size of 32 grams, they didn't have the nutrition facts on there. I guess it's on like the overall package. And so I'm looking at it and I look at my buddy and go, yeah, it's probably about 2 tablespoons, 15, 16 grams of fat. I don't know, maybe 12 grams of sugar, 260 calories. And he looks at me and goes, the fuck did you just say? And I literally, he looks up the macros and I was almost spot on to the T of every number. And he looks at me and goes, dude, you're a freak. I was like, nah, just a bodybuilder.
Damn, that's crazy.
Peanut
Also,
butter is
wait,
so good.
while we're talking about food, so the other day, like I have Pop Tarts in my diet right now as my post workout. Dude, I'm going down the cereal aisle and I see that they have Girl Scout cookie flavors of Pop Tarts. Bro, these
Thin Mint.
these fucking Samoa and Thin Mint ones, oh my God.
Dude, I was in the store the
Insane.
other day grabbing something, I don't remember, and I saw they had lemon blueberry crumble Pop Tarts.
Ooh, I haven't seen those ones yet.
I kept walking. I don't have Pop Tarts in my diet, so I kept walking, but I was like, shit, that sounds good.
Yeah.
Dude, you want to know what's funny? We're talking about Pop Tarts right now. Oh, that looks fire.
Fire.
So when I was cleaning out my house, my old house, I was clearing out this one cabinet above my fridge, and there's this like long Tupperware in there. I'm like, the fuck is this? And I pull it out, and there's Oreos in there, there's Reese's, and there was Pop Tarts. And I immediately thought to myself, but like the Pop Tarts were all still in the packaging, but not in the box. Okay, so I must have at some point took them out. And the Oreos had like two sleeves that were not even, or the two sleeves were gone. There's one or two sleeves left. And I'm like, when the fuck did these get here? I asked my girlfriend. She's like, no, it wasn't me. And I thought to myself, I remembered those were the things that I DoorDashed to my room at NPC Universe the night that I turned pro. And because I knew that I was turning pro, I'm like, I just want fucking Pop Tarts. Bro, they were up there for what would that be? Like almost a year now. And I took them, I was cleaning out the house a month ago. And I had one of the Pop Tarts, tasted heavenly, obviously. Okay. And then I had one of the Oreos, and it's an opened package. Okay. Still tasted like it was fresh as hell. And I'm like, how is this good? How is this like legal to eat?
Shit just never expires. It's good 3 years later.
It's great, but you know, like that's not real. It's just all artificial shit that doesn't go bad, apparently.
Yeah,
It's so good
that,
though.
I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, wait, if I was in Jersey for NPC Universe, my like post-show brain must have been thinking, okay, you DoorDash this shit, you haven't ate all of it, somehow fly it back to Milwaukee, Wisconsin. I flew all that shit back somehow, dude.
Have you ever seen those videos of like leaving like a McDonald's burger out for like 30 days at a time? It just doesn't even decompose. That's kind of what I'm thinking when I heard the Oreo thing just now.
Dude, yeah, literally.
It's scary.
That's crazy.
McDonald's is pretty anabolic though. Like I'm not gonna lie. I've made some big progress on quarter pounder with cheese.
Okay, so I tagged Kyle Davis in this the other day, and it was a post something about how much protein is in like a triple Mc whatever. And I was
46
like,
grams.
I was like, dude, that's not bad. I might have to go fuck some McDonald's up this week.
Yeah.
Dude, it's
Actually,
bad. I'm like,
while we're on the topic of fast food, so I was talking to someone the other day about this. And I was kind of like ranking like the tiers of fast food, and we were talking about, oh, what was it? I think we were talking about like we were kind of just going through like the list of all the different restaurants and shit. And I think it was like Jack in the Box where I was like, nah, that shit's trash. Like I ranked it below McDonald's because like McDonald's does have like when I say some nostalgia to it, we all ate it as kids or got the whatever, go to the play place, whatever. So there's like memories there. But I'm like, dude, like as we were ranking the restaurants, I put like Jack in the Box, Taco Bell, all that shit, like the lowest tier ever. And they're like, wait, you're gonna rank McDonald's higher than I think I ranked it higher than Arby's. And someone I was talking to was like so offended by that. I was like, bro, I don't even think that's real meat. Like, you think I'm going to fast food for fucking roast beef sandwiches? Fuck that.
McDonald's is very consistent.
Yep.
I've never had
my
Arby's.
favorite.
Never had Arby's.
Never.
I mean,
You're not missing out.
No.
20 years or more. It's not. You're
Funny.
not missing anything.
I'd probably put Culver's pretty high up.
Culver's isn't bad.
Culver's is pretty.
I think for me and like everyone I was talking to, we kind of ranked like Shake Shack's kind of at the top of that echelon, but obviously like it's a little pricey. I think if I get like 2 burgers and 2 fries, I'm paying almost $40 for a refeed, which is crazy for fast food. But
Fries are pretty good though.
it is good, don't get me wrong, but like also to drop $160 a month on refeeds if I got one a week is crazy.
Okay, what about, do you guys have Portillo's?
Yeah, but okay, so the ones out here, they're just trash. Like because I've had the ones in Chicago which are legit, but like the copy paste versions we have out here, they're just not good.
Oh, got it. Yeah.
That's kind of the shitty part about like some of the franchises like that is like some cities where like it originated, it'll be like 10 out of 10. And then here, I would say just the quality's so bad that like I've been there a couple times, but it's not even worth going.
One of the things that I've been making a ton of progress on this off season is my free meals have been Indian food.
Dude, it's funny you say that because one of my clients was talking about Indian food the other day, and I hope no one blasts me in the comments sounding racist, but I was just like, I feel like it's just like chicken covered in like really aromatic, fragrant sauce, and it just looks like slop to me. And I was like, I don't know if I could get down with
It
that.
hits though.
It hits so hard, dude.
What do you get?
I feel like
Uh,
I feel like I haven't really
I'll
had
tell
like
you. I'll tell you
Indian
my.
anything like that. Like I don't know if I like it.
Okay, so I think you would the carb sources, the protein sources would be things that you'd eat on a daily basis. I mean, like, do you like lamb?
Yeah.
Yeah, lamb is good. I've never had like an Indian dish that I've never liked that had lamb in it. I'm not a lamb guy. Like I don't eat it. I don't go out of my way to eat it. Um, but it's just yeah, like you said, Scott, it's very aromatic. There's curries, there's buttery flavors. It's on the cleaner side of like an ethnic cultural food, I guess you could call it. Even though it's like been Americanized. But dude, I've been a fan of Indian food for a long time.
Jesus.
My girlfriend and I have like gone all across Milwaukee whenever we'd get it to try to figure out which one's good, which one we like best. We go to this one place every single time. But bro, it's getting out of hand. Some of the prices of sushi, like yo, dude,
Oh,
I'll have a free
Yeah.
meal of sushi. It'll cost us for her and I. It'll be like 130 fucking dollars,
mhm.
and then I'll get an Indian meal, and it's like $60 for just both of us.
I do think inflation has hit like crazy on literally almost everything. Like I just got a new car recently, so I have the little like paper license plate on there, so I couldn't get it washed for however long. So I finally get my real plate on there, and I go to a car wash I used to love out here, and I guess maybe it'd been 6 months since I had been there. But anyways, I pull up and just like their basic wash, which was more than enough, like it was really good, 19.99. I pull up 39.99 for a fucking basic wash. And I don't mean to sound frugal, but I go, when'd you guys jump the price? And they're like, oh, inflation. I'm like, so you mean to tell me your VIP wash is now $79.99? Like, what the fuck? I was like, yeah, I'm straight. I was like, I'm going somewhere else. That's crazy. Like, it's soap and water, guys. Soap and water. Come on.
That's kind of
I detail my vehicles.
Yeah, I'm big on
For 80
the
bucks, you might as well detail it, right?
I'm big on just the self wash. Most of them have credit cards now, so it's like $3. You don't have to use all the quarters or whatever, and you can get. I'm big on. Like, I told Katie to start doing it. She does it now, but just going to like just the bay, you can get all your stuff done there. It's like $3, $4, whatever. You can take like all the time in the world. You know what I mean? And you
I
don't scratch the shit out of your truck.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because that's the one thing I hate just with the size of my truck is like I've gotten stuck in car washes before, just
Yeah.
with my tires. And it's annoying as shit. But I never want that shit to get scratched. So then what I ended up doing is I like a little bit of background about me. Like my first vehicle I built from the frame up. I built my first truck as a second generation Dodge. Um, so I'm a freaking oil thumb guy. I love mechanic work. I love body work. So I've always had that mind, that like the gearhead mind, no pun intended, really.
Clip
But
it.
yeah, seriously. So like literally this year where I was like, you know what? I've always done all the work on my vehicles, maintenance, wheel bearings, etc. I'm just gonna start detailing my truck. Dude, I've saved so much money. I bought a electric pressure washer off Amazon. I think it was like $200. It's got like 9,500 PSI. It's crazy, dude. Like you put your hand 3 feet in front of that and it hurts like a bitch. It's, dude, it is nuts. And then I bought this big tub of like detail stuff, like detail equipment from Costco. And it saved me so much money because I'll just detail my truck, the exterior, once a week, once every 2 weeks. And it takes me like 2 hours, but it's at 2 hours. You put a podcast on, you're in the sun, you don't got to think about anything else. And it's just one of those things where
Therapeutic.
it's so therapeutic. And I'm the type of person where I don't try to be cheap. I try to be frugal in the best ways because that's how I was raised. I wasn't raised with money. I was raised on a farm, dude. Like I was butchering fucking cows and cattle since I was 9, 10 years old. But it's one of those things where, dude, if I can do something and somehow find joy in it, even though it takes me longer, I'll do that instead of paying somebody.
No, I agree with you. I think it is kind of therapeutic, like, especially like as a dude, you're taking care of your car, your automobile. Like, that's actually like, I don't mind spending an hour, hour and a half, 2 hours even if I'm going to detail my own car. Because again, like anything, I feel like at a certain level, if you pay someone else to do it, they're not going to give as much of a shit as you would to do it yourself. So like, you want it done right, just do it yourself. So I agree with that. But just like, even when we were talking about like the sushi versus the Indian food, or just the prices of a lot of things that have increased, like the inflation on almost everything is so fucking crazy these days that I'm just like, bro, like what? Like,
Dude,
who's
a
paying these
bottle of
prices?
mass,
Like, it blows my mind.
a bottle of mass is like $100
Yeah.
versus it was like $35 2 months ago, three
Yeah.
months ago.
I will say though, I've been speaking to a few people that have really good connections with overseas with all the raws. It's about to clear up here in the next few months because I just had hypothetically things come in. But
Hypothetically again.
hypothetically, and it got here quick, no issues, nothing. But like from the people that I was talking about, they're like, yeah, it's because of the tariff shit, you know.
Yeah.
It was the tariffs, and then we finally struck a trade deal. Because I was really worried because like it's so crazy the industry in China, like how much they rely on the US for the
Mhm.
gear networking and like all whatever. I was worried that they were going to have to start doing business with India for India to ship it through, not India Post, but ship it through UAE Post. But India has always been like, yeah, India getting, pharma medication, like orals and stuff, no problem. But India's always had a bad rep for oils. Okay.
Yes.
So I was so fucking scared. I was like, dude, if some of this shit starts coming from India, the quality is going to be so shit because either if because most people don't know, like I don't even know how to. Most people don't make their shit. Okay, the people that are getting it get it from domestic over here, and those dealers are getting it from their person that knows how to make it, and that raws are coming from China. Whole distribution network. But the people because I know people that order in bulk from overseas, like, dude, if they order it in bulk when it's already made and it's already brewed, if it would be coming from India, it would be a huge risk because you ain't nothing sterile in India, bro.
No.
Yeah, that's obviously always like something you got to be concerned of where you're sourcing things from. But just imagine like shit's so readily available in like Colombia. Like you just go to the pharmacy to get like toothpaste and Tren, and it's just like a casual like 5 minute walk.
Dude, you want to know what's funny? This is hilarious. So, when I was in Mexico with Samson and Fuad, there's this one Q&A that we were doing, and he asked us, and he asked it in a way he was beating around the bush with the question because he wanted to be professional with it. And this fan asked us, like, what does it really take? Like, what are you guys taking to get to where you're at right now? All right, that's what he asked. And then Samson answered it first in obviously in the right way, a very politically correct way, being Mr. Olympia.
Yeah.
And then I answered it, and I was we had to cut it out of the video. Um,
Got it.
because I told him like, yeah, this like what I'm taking is obviously the main thing that changes is doses between me and Samson. Okay. Most of it's always the same. All right. Most of the time. But dude, you literally have everything at your disposal at pharmacies. Why are you even at like I kind of answered the question and like, dude, you have everything you need here. Why haven't you done it?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that's what I said. And then I told the videographer to take it out of the video because it's like that's probably going to reflect bad upon like why we were there in the event.
Yeah.
But I thought to myself, I'm like, dude, while we were there, no bullshit, bro. Me and Samson, by far the biggest guys we saw. Like, dude, well, oh, besides Keon was there. Me, Samson, Keon, biggest guys I saw the entire trip. We were in 6 different cities, and I literally was expecting at every meet and greet to be meeting juiced up guys. Okay, yeah, I could tell there's people on gear, but I was at this one meet and greet, and this one guy came up to me to take a photo, and I was talking to him for a bit, and he spoke pretty good English, and then I'm like. I was like, oh, that guy somehow recognized the guy. Okay. He looked like an average gym bro. All right. Round delts. He was wearing a cutoff. And then a couple minutes later, some girl was taking a photo with him. And I'm like, huh, who is that? And then I found him on Instagram. He's a men's physique Olympian. And I thought to myself, and I'm like, how does he not look the part?
Wait, you know what's funny is, so with talking about things being like readily available, you're totally right. Because if I lived in a place like that where I could literally, like I said, go get toothpaste and Tren in one fall swoop, yeah, maybe I'd hop on Tren. But Neither here nor there. But I went to, there's a pharmacy that I have a prescription for my testosterone out here. And so usually I'll just go load up on needles and syringes at the same time when I pop by there. And so there was some younger kid working the desk like on his first day, and he was newer. You could kind of tell. And so I walk in and I tell the girl who's the pharmacist, like, hey, can I just grab this gauge, these needles, blah, blah, blah. And dude's like kind of like looking me up and down. He looks at me, he's like, bro, you're fucking jacked. And I always take that as a compliment, but I also don't think I'm that big. But it was so funny because I like looked at him, I go, well, I'm buying needles and syringes. The fuck you think I'm doing here, dog? Like,
Yeah.
and he was like, oh, okay, that makes sense. I was like, you work in a pharmacy. Come on, man. It was just kind of a funny moment where he was like, what do you take? I was like, let's just go with testosterone. That's what I take.
Yeah.
Stick with that.
We're talking about medical stuff and all that real quick. Justin, what'd you get your PhD in?
I have a doctorate in chiropractic.
Oh, nice, dude. Nice.
So I went to Michigan State and got a degree in human biology, and then I went to Logan University here in St. Louis and got my doctorate. Yeah.
Nice, good for you. Because I didn't know, because we were talking about like clinics and stuff, and I'm like, wait, Justin, does he own a clinic or no?
No.
Justin's out here breaking backs.
Yeah.
Pause.
The biggest chiropractor in the Midwest.
You know what I was actually thinking of earlier when Justin was talking about how they had kind of like a little neighborhood patrol. Justin's already a fucking jack dude. Now imagine him and like all the boys from the gym all strapped up, like in front of some boarded up buildings. Like, you really gonna come fucking try and break into this building? Nuh-uh, not on my watch.
The three of us, it was me, and then my buddy, his name's Matt. He's an older guy, older than us a little bit. He's like my dad, kind of. He's jacked. He's competing. He's actually going for his pro card at Teen and Masters Collegiate here soon. And so he's jacked. And then the third guy is like a professional boxer. He's a Mexican dude, Jose Ponce. And so it's just like two big ass jack dudes and then one professional boxer and just a bed of a truck bed full of rifles. And like Jose had Uzi and steel plated body armor and shit. Like it was
throwing plywood at people.
Yeah, that's one of those situations I don't think you want to fuck around and find out.
No. We are all more than happy to fuck people up.
That's so funny. That kind of reminded me of there was a point out here this past winter. I went out to an outdoor range with a buddy and two guys that are ex-Navy SEALs. And it was on a day where it was like -4 out, dude. It was crazy. It was so cold that for me to like keep my hands functioning, I was holding my fucking suppressor on my rifle. It just because it was so warm, and it's just like it had to happen for me to be able to pull my trigger. But I'm walking out there. I've never met these SEALs before, dude. And I'm walking out to the field, to the range, plate carrier on, battle belt on, etc. And they're like, dude, I've seen all these Taliban. I've killed all these people overseas. I don't think I've ever been afraid of anybody with a plate carrier on except you, motherfucker.
I mean, I'd be intimidated too if I saw a fucking jacked fucking bodybuilder who's strapped. Like, yeah, ain't no way.
Yeah, but
it's crazy. Like SEALs and Rangers are obviously like, special ops guys of all branches are some badass, like capable men, but they're not like as big. Like they're not like us. Like they're not big like we are. They have to run miles with 40 to 80 pounds on their backs and shit. Like they're obviously way more functional than us. So they don't look as muscular or as physically intimidating as us, but they're obviously some hard motherfuckers.
Yeah, they actually have the functionality behind their skills. That's why, like, my best friend is a combat veteran. He was a ranger. He was deployed in Afghanistan and Iraq, and he was in Iraq for a very short period of time. But like, he's seen some shit. Like, he's one of the people where I coach him too. How he dealt with it, what he saw overseas makes sense for how chill he is now. You know what I'm saying? Which makes sense because like my dad has taken lives on the police force, and that's what my dad said too. It's like how you operate in the moment. But even him, like that's why I learned from him and why I shoot with him so much is because my entire premise of shooting is to be functional, to actually have skills in something where it means something. And he's the only dude that I've seen that's a bodybuilder. And like, dude, I coach the guy. He's been on a gram of fucking test. Okay. I'll say it right up. he is the only person that still moves like he can move back when he was in Rangers. Like he's 60, 70 pounds heavier, but still can do the craziest transitions, craziest primary, secondary transitions, reload. Oh, it is nuts, dude. So I don't know, it's cool, but it's so funny seeing like like you guys seen the videos like Hunter Labrada shooting?
Yeah.
Dude, it's so funny.
He's a big
Oh,
tree.
what's the one? And I think Hunter's done it. I'm pretty sure it's like popular down in Texas, but it's like hog hunting or where
Oh
you're like
yeah.
in the helicopter. And dude, that looks like some cool ass shit. I would be down to do that. It's
I
hard,
would do that.
right?
It's what?
What are they? They're shooting hogs, right?
Yeah, they're shooting hogs.
I would be down. That would be fun
Pretty
as
so
fuck.
cool.
Dude, they're probably right south of you, Scott. They're getting up there because we're getting them in like southern Missouri. Springfield's getting more and more hogs. But I'm sure like, well, are you in Phoenix?
Like Scott, like 20 minutes outside
Oh,
of Phoenix.
Scottsdale.
So there's
Yeah,
some pigs in Scottsdale area, or at least Arizona, right?
yeah, you get into some grass.
We got, bro. I remember this one time I was at this house in North Scottsdale, and like up north where there's like a lot more mountains. This area is just very like cityscape where I'm at. But there's like, dude, all these fucking creatures. I think they're called. Oh, what is it? What is it? It's called a Gila monster,
Oh
bro.
yeah.
Oh my God. I saw one in real life. And then when someone was like, don't get near it, I was like, I mean, it doesn't look pretty, but what'll it do to me? And then you start like watching some YouTube videos on what happens if a Gila monster like bites you, bro. It literally like melts your skin like acid. And like, it's one of the grossest things I've ever seen. And I'm like, I'm with a golf club. I'm like, yo, 6 feet, bro, 6 feet.
Wow, dude.
So yeah, we got some creatures out here. I don't know though. Like usually it's a lot more like scorpions, snakes, but again, that's going to be in the more like desert kind of mountain areas. Fortunately, where I'm at is a lot more like I'm in a fucking high-rise building. So I mean, if I see like a spider in my building, I'm like, oh shit.
Yeah.
They're
I was,
getting
I was
everywhere, dude. They're
wait,
invasive as shit.
I was actually talking about this with someone earlier, one of my clients, and it's like, dude, I got one of my buddies back in Michigan. This dude's got like a fucking pet tarantula, and I'll like go to his house. He's like, hey, bro, you want to pet him? I'm like, do I want to pet your fucking tarantula? No, I don't want to touch your fucking tarantula. So gross to me. Like, I'm like, this is a pet. This is a cute little teddy bear dog. I'm like, but that tarantula, dude, that's a fucking bug. Like, kill that shit.
Spiders don't bother me, but like I don't want to touch a tarantula. Like
Mm.
I never understood people who had like, and again, different strokes for different folks, but like obviously there's like kids growing up who had like snakes and shit. And like, dude, like I'll see all these people on Instagram who are like wherever when and they're like, oh, it's safe. The snake's like just wrapped around my neck. It's chill. But I saw this video on Instagram where I don't know where it was. I want to say somewhere in Mexico, and this chick was like, oh, I thought my snake was cuddling with me, blah, blah, blah. And then literally someone's like, no, actually, your snake was getting prepared to fucking eat you.
yeah,
Yes. Yeah.
I was,
I was the kid growing up where um like my cousins would come over and stuff. We'd go try to like find snakes and like put them in a bucket and collect a bunch of them and stuff. And dude, I've been bitten by so many snakes, like pine snakes, like 6 foot long snakes in Wisconsin, huge, bite like a motherfucker.
How
And
bad does that hurt?
huh?
How bad does that hurt?
Terrible. Terrible, dude. It was so bad. There was this one time I remember it so vividly. We were at, I think it was at my uncle's cabin or something. We're on the lakefront, and there was like this rock ledge retaining wall, and it wasn't like brand new. It was kind of old, but there was gaps between the rocks. And I thought it was a gardener snake, which are freaking harmless. There's like coiled up in between one of the rocks. I'm like, Dad, there's a fucking snake in there. And he like looks in there. He's like, that's a pine snake. Don't grab it. And we're just out around a campfire, just like having a family day or whatever. And like my dad recalls a story is that after he said that, he just hears me scream and I'm running across the yard, and attached to my hand is this 6 foot pine snake just dragging behind my hand. And yeah, he said it was the funniest thing ever.
Bro, I don't know. I'm not like a insect, bug, snake kind of guy at all. So like anytime I see that shit, I just kind of fucking book it the other way. And what's funny is we have these huge like dragonflies out here. This morning I pull up to the gym and I'm like, grab my gym bag out of the car. Bro, I hope somebody saw this. If they did, please tell me. But dude, this dragonfly was like flying right at me, bro. I like whoo, like dodge it like that, drop my fucking gym bag, and kind of like run like 10 feet away from my car. And I'm like kind of like looking, I'm like, okay, where'd he go? Where'd he go? I'm like, is it safe? Like, but it's just funny because like sometimes you almost wish you could like see that from the outside looking in, because I would laugh if I saw like this fucking bodybuilder who's afraid of some fucking bug, like literally running away. But it is what it
That's
is.
hilarious.
It is what it is. I think what it comes from is I've only been stung that I can recall one time by like a bee or anything, like once in my life, and I was maybe like 6 or 7 years old. But like everyone says, oh, if you don't mess with them, they won't mess with you. But literally, bro, I got stung like right above my eyelid, and ever since then, I've just been like, it's like hand on the hot stove. You know what it feels like once, and you don't need to feel it again.
Dude, my dad's allergic to bees and he has like tens of thousands of bees, like beehives. And I'm like, how? Like, dude, you're asking to die.
Yeah,
Dude,
that's
bees are
dangerous.
cool as shit. Honeybees, I'm the biggest like honeybee advocate in the world. I hate
Oh, yeah.
wasps. Like, fuck wasps. They like go out of their way to do bad shit. But like honeybees, dude, are like if you really look it up, like they're the sole reason that like we're breathing, shit moving, you know what I mean, from pollination. They're
Mhm.
pretty badass.
Same thing with bats too. Like, dude,
Yes, bats are amazing.
people say that they wish like bats didn't exist, or they'd say like, "Oh, I wish mosquitoes were never a thing." I'm like, okay, then bats wouldn't have any food.
Mhm.
Okay, and then bats and mosquitoes and bees are so important for the ecosystem. It's absolutely wild.
We
Yeah.
where I live too, there's like a little canal area, so there's all these like bridges that go through the city. And one night I'm walking my dog out on the canal because it's just like nice little scenic route, and I literally thought these were birds, and then when I realized they were bats, I was like, oh shit! I was like, maybe I don't want to walk so close to that bridge
Yeah.
because again, like I don't know too much about bats, but like I'm pretty sure they bite, and I'm not trying to get bit by no bat unless it's
I
gonna
think
be
I
Batman.
think the big ones do, but
Just the big one.
I mean, unless I'm gonna turn into Bruce Wayne, I'm straight.
yeah.
Well, I was gonna say I know it's getting late for you guys. Anything else you guys want to talk about this week? Maybe some Elon versus Trump.
Oh, that's hilarious. Oh my God, dude.
I don't even really know what happened other than like there was this EV charging bill that basically like somewhat puts Tesla in a bad spot or reduces tax deductions on electronic vehicles. So Elon got pissed off and then just basically started tweeting crazy shit like Trump and Epstein are boys.
Yeah.
That's all I really know. And
Triple bill thing or whatever.
yeah, I don't know. This is where I kind of divert my questions to Justin because I'm like, all right, dial me and educate me.
I mean, I don't know the details on the bill, so I don't know if it was good or bad or what was in it really. But yeah, I did see the little beef there with Elon for a bit, and I was
It's
like, oh,
entertaining.
kind of like popping off, like, and I was like, this doesn't look good. Like this is fucking stupid. Like, I voted for Trump, but like when those two are going at it, I was like, this just looks ridiculous. This is not a
Well,
good look.
I think it's ridiculous that people in society think that it's so funny that people start attacking you when you start talking good about a candidate, and then they'll also start attacking you for when you start talking bad about a candidate. It's like, yo,
Mhm.
can't I vote for somebody and still disagree with some of their shit?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, dude, let's not even talk about Trump. Let's just say the Republican Party. Like, dude, I don't consider myself a Republican. I consider myself not even anything on the political spectrum. I'm common sense. I'm pro freedom. I'm pro safety. Make more money. Like that's it's it. Just I'm common sense. Okay, pro freedom, very moderate. But dude, if I lean more towards the right with some things more than the left, I can still talk shit about the right because they're just as bad as the left. You know what I'm saying? And I think that society's got that so screwed up where it's like you have to be all in on one side or the other. Otherwise, you have no say. It's like, dude, I have plenty of bones to pick with Trump,
Yeah.
but the ones that I don't have any bones to pick with him are the ones that mean the most to the American people.
Mhm.
I,
They
I was
kind
just
of fucked us on that. What was it? I think it was Trump and Hillary Clinton, but they had that Libertarian Party, Joe Jorgensen, who is like a badass. You know what I mean? Coolest. She could have been like the baddest female president ever. Whatever. She was leading the popular vote. I have not voted since the elections. Like I really can't talk shit about anything. But she was leading the popular vote, and it came time for the debates and stuff. And they didn't give her a debate spot. They just put the two up there. And it's like, dude, you guys are bringing us to this situation where we're like, okay, which one sucks less? You know what I mean? And it's like, dude, just give whoever it is, like, just give everyone a fair shot. Like, let's just hear them out. They're probably an idiot, but like, what's the worst that can happen? You know?
like in a perfect world, we want more than a two-party system, but
Yes.
it's never going to happen.
No.
And it's purposeful. They do not want more than two parties because they don't want people expanding their horizons to find common ground. Again, Chris, just like you said earlier,
Yeah,
when we
for
can
the buyer.
divide people, then it's easier to control them. If we have more options for people to prescribe their thinking to and an ideology, then it's going to be harder to control them and put them in a box. And you know, so it's like I hear that shit all the time. My brother is loves talking about politics, loves talking about law enforcement. Um, and but he still is too idealistic with his way of thinking sometimes. You know, it's like we have to stop thinking about the world as we want it to be, and we have to start thinking about, okay, this is how the world is right now, and I'm going to change what I
Mhm.
can't change. But if I can't change something like a two-party system, then I need to change my household, my community, my
Yep.
like not change. I need to impact. I need to influence what's directly around me. That's being a realist, you know. I
Yeah.
can't just talk shit on everything going on in the world. Talk, I want this to be ideal. I want this way when I'm not the one putting my own ducks in a row. You know what I'm saying? You know, I just hate idealistic ways of thinking and approaching things. And it's just like, yeah, would we want the Libertarian Party up there too, the Green Party up there too? Absolutely. But it sucks that it's never going to happen.
Right.
And I
I
And
think
just
that's
like
why I stopped voting. And I get some shit for it, but like I just know like I can't really talk about politics. It's like they didn't even vote. Like what the fuck are you doing? But it's just like, and it's pretty shitty because on the other hand, it's like if you're not voting, then you're not making a change, and I get that 100%. But it's like, dude, I just can't put myself into a, the lesser of any two evil. Whether even if I fully agree with it or not, I know what's going down. It's like, yeah, I'm just gonna sit this one. I did register. I do register for the draft. I got that shit in, but
Hey,
um, yeah. But the rest is like, what the fuck can I do? You know what I mean? Besides what we're doing now, which is doing shit in real life. But
right.
Well, too many times people are just going to look to whichever political party's the opposition, blame their shitty quality of life on, well, it's this candidate's fault, this president's fault. When really, if you took a good hard look in the mirror, it's probably your own fucking fault. Let's be
yeah,
real.
get a job,
Life
loser.
sucks. Like it's not whoever's in office that made your quality of life shit. It's you. Take some responsibility and accountability. You know.
Yeah.
100%, dude.
Um, guys, anything else you want to jump on before we wrap up tonight?
I don't think so, man.
Appreciate you coming on tonight, Nick. We'll definitely have to get you back on. When you got any trips coming up soon?
Yeah, oh yeah. So I've got a client that's competing this weekend. I'm not going out to that show though. That's in Washington. I wasn't able to make this one. Um, just double checking that he sent me his photos. Okay, he did good. Um, he's but then it'd be cool to go to that show. It's a WNBF show. He's a crazy, like, I mean, he's got such good potential for a NASCAR guy. They just created Classic in WNBF, which I just figured out. Um, so I got that, and then I have next weekend or next week I'm in Chattanooga, so I'm gonna see you out there, Chris. I have two guys competing out there, and then a potential guy competing at Universe. Not sure if I'll make it out to that. I may be going to the UK with Hostile in August, but we're not. We have to figure out the details on that, so we're not even sure if we're gonna fully be able to do that as or not. I'm trying to think, man. But no, I mean it's been busy. I love traveling, man. I love traveling for shows. I love seeing people. And not gonna lie, I love traveling for shows because peak weeks, like the end of peak week, is where it feels good for me to be a little bit less of a bodybuilder, you know? Like on show day last weekend or 2 weekends ago, excuse me, at Junior USA's, bro, the only thing that I had to eat until we had dinner that night, the entire day on show day was a clementine and a rice cake, you know? And like, and I didn't have any hunger. I was just excited. I was just dialed in, you know, and that's what I love about peak weeks for my clients is just like I kind of get excited for getting 4 hours of sleep every night because
It's
I
adrenaline.
can't, yeah, because I can't sleep and I'm excited for them and I'm up the next day before they get up making their fucking rice for the day, you know, making sure that they got food so they can stay off their feet, you know, and just chill and relax. And um, I love it, man. So I love being able to travel. I've got lots of travels this year. But dude, if you guys want me to come on again, please let me know. I'd love to come on. Um,
100%.
this is my first time meeting you, Scott, and I mean, it's a pleasure meeting you. I've met Chris and Justin before. But I like you guys a lot, man. I like the way this vibes. I like, how it's not just a certain topic of things. We just kind of just literally have at it. We just chat, and that's how it should be, man. So whenever you guys want me to come on, just let me know. Like a week in advance, like we did for this one, and I'll make sure that it happens.
No, I appreciate you guys. And obviously, like we always talk about, we try to stick to kind of a certain day, but with the time differences, they're both in St. Louis, I'm in Arizona, you're somewhere else. So it's like, it is obviously a little bit of effort to make it happen, but it's obviously worth it just to have, like, for lack of words, I tell Justin all the time, this is like my favorite hour or 2 hours of every week. I mean, most of the time I spend the majority of my time at a gym, training myself, training clients, I'm meal prepping, taking care of my dog. So it's almost just like, I always joke back to when I would play hockey. I'm just sitting in the locker room bullshitting with the boys, where that was kind of almost just as fun as getting on the ice and winning a game. So almost just like you were talking about with being there for your clients for peak week, almost like you're going through it with them. It's that adrenaline of like, it's so nice that you're able to be present. And I know Justin knows this as well. Chris, you're doing more of the online stuff. I'm actually about to start doing some more stuff online, but it's one of those things like when you can actually be there for your athletes in person. And when I say you're literally going through the prep with them, you're going through the peak with them, I think they really appreciate it too. So that's the sign of a great coach.
I appreciate that, man.
Yeah, for sure.
You would be a hockey player too.
it's
Accent.
you know what? Do I have an accent? Everyone says that.
I don't think it's accent. I honestly think it's kind of like the chirpiness of your personality.
Yeah, like the verbiage and stuff.
Yeah.
I'm not even gonna lie. Who is it? It's Brad Marchand. Justin, did you see the clip? It was like a clip the other day where him and Evander Kane were talking shit. And I guess like maybe this was a few years ago, but Evander Kane, not really that it's relevant, but he, I guess, filed bankruptcy, and Evander Kane or Brad Marchand's basically like talking shit. He's like, "You're broke, bro. Like, shut the fuck up."
I hate Brad so much, but he knows how to chirp.
Dude.
He knows how to run his mouth for sure.
Yeah, I think I've always been told I've got a sharp tongue. So especially when these little fucking keyboard warriors want to issue death threats, game on.
I think we all cheers our metaphorical glasses to that Nick guy today.
Yeah.
You know what? I'll keep you guys posted if I have any more updates on him. I'm about to share his LinkedIn profile. So if anyone wants to send any messages, I know he's probably looking for a new job. So
Dude, you
guys
could make
like
a drop.
make death threats, and you need a well, he probably won't be licensed anymore, but I don't know.
Make a drop with the
make it
QR
cool.
code. Make a QR code to his LinkedIn in the top. Says like,
Dude. Okay, here's the funny part is I thought about making a mock-up of a results shirt with like his face on it, but I was like, no one's gonna buy this shit. Like, no one supports this fucking loser. But you know what's funny is when at first I think he blocked me from my personal account. So I was gonna reach out to him from the results account and be like, hey, we're looking for some new transgender athletes. I heard you're a huge pussy, blah, blah, blah.
Dude.
but
Funny.
he deleted his shit altogether. So I don't know, maybe he'll resurface, and maybe when he does, he'll be on some better behavior, or maybe his mom will be in my DMs later tonight too. So
Hell yeah, dude.
It's a win-win.
Nick, any promo or any codes you want to drop while you're on here?
Yeah, I mean, sure, man. Code Nick10 for everything on Hostile. Everybody that uses my code, it literally supports me directly, and it's very, very appreciated. And not many people realize how it supports the athletes on Hostile directly, but Hostile is very athlete centric, which is why you don't see us in big box stores and everything. Because I mean, Fouad runs things how he wish he would have had it when he was coming up. So every code usage of Nick's 10 literally is just like, I see a notification come through, and it literally is like, yep, this is literally directly telling Hostile and Fouad I'm doing my job, and that's so appreciated. So other than that, I mean, I have other codes and shit. Like my podcast is sponsored by Flavor Gang. That's
Flavor
code
Gang.
Yeah, baby. That's code D2. But yeah, but those are the two main ones that I'm shout out. But it's like people watching this probably know how to just find me. Just look up my name on the screen here. And hopefully that by following my page, if you choose to follow, if you don't, that's fine too, because I'm not everybody's cup of tea. But if you do, hopefully that something impacts you, you like something, you learn something. That's my goal. So
For sure. I appreciate you coming on today and taking the time. I'll drop, as always, everyone's links below. So if you want to follow anybody, if you want to chirp anybody, feel free. But just be warned, might have a little clap back.
Nothing you say.
So
None of us have said in the mirror
proceed with
sometimes.
caution if you're going to be a keyboard warrior. But again, no death threats. Everything else is fair game. I could care less. Chris, anything else you want to drop in? Justin, anything you want to throw in?
No,
You
just
go first,
good
Justin.
to see you, Nick. Glad you're doing all right, Chris. I'll see you this week or something, I'm sure.
Yeah, probably blow my back out like Friday or next week, something in like a professional setting, you know.
I
Of
was
course.
gonna say, let's put a caveat there so we know.
Yeah.
Asterisk, professionally. Throw my back out.
At a chiropractor's office. Yeah, it was good seeing you guys.
As always, appreciate you. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode. And until next time, love you guys. Peace.